It's time for CIBL Biz Tips, bringing you actionable strategies to grow and improve your business. Prepare to become civilized.
What's up, Central Illinois? Welcome to CIBL Biz Tips, where we bring you concepts and strategies to grow your business right here in Central Illinois. Today, we've got back with us Francie Hinrichsen. And if you joined us in session 1, Francie talked a little bit about why she started her book, how she started her book, and we even started to give you some feelers for how she started the self-publishing process. So today, Francie, let's go ahead and dive into what we just said, the self-publishing process. So you left us off where, you just submitted your book. Was it 4 chapters? Is that what you said? Or there was 4 phases, and you sent it to your, I guess your consultant, your self-publishing assistant. And she said, I don't think you're finished here, Francie. And you dove back in and did a little more there. So let us see where you dropped off there. I just kind of mumbled over my words, but take us from where you left off in the last segment to how you got a self-publisher and kind of that process.
Sure. So if we take a step back and look at the 2 routes that you can take with publishing a book, you can either go the traditional route, which is trying to get a book deal. And that is where, you get a deal, they give you a certain cut up front, and you really only write maybe 30% of the book. There's a lot of knowledge that you can gain in going this route, professional advice and insight. But then the other route you can take is to self-publish. Now, I say this in business and it applies in writing a book as well. The barriers to entry have never been lower, meaning that if you want to go out and start a business, or in this case, write a book, all of the resources are at your fingertips. When you self-publish, you can go 2 routes. You can go narrow, which means you could go the Kindle Direct Publishing, which is Amazon's publishing sector. You could remain with them and not give other retailers access to your book at all, or for a certain period of time. That's going narrow. Now, going wide would be allowing Amazon to have access to it, but then also opening it up to a route called Ingram Spark, which is, I think, over 40,000. I don't know the exact number, but over 40,000 retailers Ingram Spark can open your book up to. So that's your Walmart, your Barnes & Noble, in my case, Target. That's how you get your book out to retailers other than Amazon. Now, of course, Amazon makes it hopefully worth your while if you allow them exclusive access, but going wide provides other opportunities in and of itself, getting into Walmart, getting into Target, for example. So I had this company, this self-publishing company called Market Refined Media, walk me through the process. As a busy mom, 2-time business owner, I just did not want to throw another thing on my back and try to figure it out. I didn't want to ride that learning curve. I wanted to pay somebody money and they could tell me exactly what I need to be doing, when and why and how. And so that's what I did. Now, that could be your listener's story, or they could go read blog posts and take courses and read Amazon's instructions on how to be successful. And that's a great route. A lot of people take too. So there's different avenues you can go through. When you're first starting out, you decide, do I want to self-publish? Do I want to go the traditional route? And then if you want to self-publish, you can go narrow with just Amazon, or you can go wide with all the retailers.
Gotcha. Wow. So there's a few options then. So now, what are some of the things that now you went the wide route, you said. What are some of those extra items that your, what was the name of it? Market Refined Media?
Yeah.
What were some of the things that they helped you with, besides like just editing, and like tell us some of the items that they helped you along the way with?
And what attracted you to Market Refine as well? That was one of the questions I was going to ask.
Yeah, so I already knew, liked, trusted this company because I've done work with them before, as they have been my client. Okay. And so I know they do good work. I've worked on the inside of them. I've known their character. and just what amazing people they are. So I knew, 6 months before I started on this project, if I was going to hire somebody, they would be it. And so I had that insight that way. But some of the things that they helped me with, of course, they brought in the editors, the 3 different types of editors. They brought in the book cover designer, but they also did services that were super helpful, like navigating KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, and setting up and picking out keywords and figuring out how to write the bio. Right? These are all things that I had no clue about, and they're the experts at. They also helped with my marketing package. So they created some photoshopped photos of my book in a lot of different beautifully curated scenes. So that if you look, if you were to look on my Instagram and you could see, I didn't actually take that picture. They put the cover of the book in that scene, and then I can use those images and those graphics in marketing however I please. Wow. They would also, they'll do as much as you want. So they'll help integrate the book onto the website. They would help formulate and manage a launch team of people who could help spread the message about the book. They are a full service marketing company. So yes, their expertise is in book publishing. They even have their own, I'm forgetting what it's called right now, but it's kind of like a logo. They have their own publishing logo, which adds credibilities for authors. But then they also do the marketing side of it too, which is amazing. Wow.
So for the listeners out there who may be ready to jump on their book writing and book publishing journey, there's 2 ways you can self-publish. The way the Francie talked about, by hiring someone like a Market Refined Media to guide you along the way, or the KDP route, which is, you mentioned, the narrow route where it's solely Amazon, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. And if we choose that route, or if the writer chooses that route, you as the author of the book, you are basically going all the way on your own. You're making your own book cover. You're writing your own bio, doing your own editing, that type of stuff. Does that sound right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I'll say too, with self-publishing, I knew I wanted to incorporate this leopard print somehow into the book.
Yep.
If you're going the traditional route, that person that you have a book deal with, that company, is probably going to dictate and determine a lot of those decisions. But I got to have so much say and input on the cover, on the design inside the book. So if you want flexibility with your book idea and it matters to you that you have a say, it's really important to consider the self-publishing route.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It sounds like the way to go, especially if it's like us and we've got a stack of papers, everything going 5 million different directions. They can help you organize it and then tell us it's not enough and start over, right?
Yeah, because one of the editors that you could have in this process is the developmental editor. And they would go through the manuscript and they would tell you, like, you didn't complete the thought here, or maybe you need to add an example here. So yes, we pour out these ideas on paper, but then the benefit of having a developmental editor would be to pinpoint those areas where you have left gaps, or you haven't really, in the eyes of a reader, haven't really created a great experience yet for that reader.
Great. That's great. Well, I think that's a good ending point for the second session here. That was a lot of information in a short amount of time. So thanks again, Francie, for explaining self-publishing, and hopefully our listeners are getting a good start to their book writing. I know Garrett and I are still on the planning board here, and the game plan is not completely set, but we're on our way. So for all you listeners out there, make sure you are subscribing to the CIBL podcast on your favorite podcast platform. You can also follow us on social media, mainly on LinkedIn and Facebook, and connect with Garrett and I there personally as well. Until next time, y'all have been civilized. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CIBL podcast. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It's the civilized thing to do.